Ishwaram, as resplendent sun. It's the start of a bright new day. Time to rise, time to shine, Lord divine. Time to lead us along life's way. Awake, Lord of Buddha party. Awake, O Lord, over all mankind. Awake, O Lord of compassion, that the world good fortune may find. On Chitravati's peaceful shore stands our heart's own mansion. We yearn to serve.
Did you hear in the morning or not? You were not there in the morning? Talks?
I was there.
Huh? What do you say now? Correct. Om Sri Sai Arpanam. Everybody?
Om Shri Sai Arpanam.
Whatever we do, we dedicate to Sai. Then Sai is in charge. You don't dedicate, you are in charge. You make a mess afterwards. Sai will always look after everything. You dedicate to him. When you recite Om, what you should do is the O, U and M, they should be equal. What is happening is the O is going on for a long time, and when you are running out of breath, you finally close the mouth and there ends the Om. That's not proper. Not Om. No. Om. Okay. There's another little mystery about the Om I'll tell you, which Baba has related. He says that when you recite Om, if you pay too much attention to the A part, then in due course you will acquire worldly prosperity. If you pay a lot of attention to the U part, then you will have wisdom. If you pay too much attention to the part, then you will merge with divinity. See? Now, from this point of view, he said that the correct way of reciting Om, not when you are reciting Om once, twice or thrice, but when you are doing the Omkaram in the morning, for instance, continuously. See, the correct way to do it is to keep your lips shut. See, like this. He told us this at Dasara time in 1983 or 82 in one of his discourses, and he mentioned that this is the proper way of doing it. After some time I met him. Then I asked him, Swami, what is the difference between when you recite the Om in this way and when you recite the Om that way? He says, well, it is like this. When you are reciting Om as Om, it is like saying G-O-D, but the other one is like saying God. That is the difference. He said, one is spelling it out, another one is pronouncing it. He further explained at that time that the Om is constantly going on. See, because it is constantly there, the creation is also constantly regenerating itself. See, otherwise the creation would cease to exist. Now this Om can be heard. What sort of Om will you hear? You won't hear Om if you listen to the Om in the universe. No, you will hear this constant. See, that is real Om. See, this is a secret which will help you to merge in Swami. See? So the Ma part is the real thing, and that is how it is going on. Now, what would you like me to talk about? Any questions? Come on. Let's have some interaction. Yes.
I don't have a question, but I was just wondering if maybe you could share some of the touching experiences you've had in your life, Swami.
No.
No?
That's not the purpose of this meeting. That will follow afterwards, later on. No, come on. See, outside you've got so many questions. Here you don't have any. No? No, I'll ask questions if you're not asking me. What is the relationship between Sanatana Dharma and all the other religions? Tell me. Come on, who is going to tell me? Come on. Haven't you been taught in the Balvikas? Huh? No?
I mean, what is the same in all the religions?
No. What is the relationship, say, between Sanatana Dharma and Zoroastrianism, between Sanatana Dharma and Buddhism, between Sanatana Dharma and Hinduism? All the religions are there. What is the basic relationship between them? I'll tell you. See, what is Sanatana Dharma? It has got 4 fundamental principles. Principles, not values. 4 fundamental principles. All values are derived from these principles. See? Now, Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prem. These are the 4 fundamental principles. Now, what happens is that there is a religion. Say, take for instance Zoroastrian religion, which is my religion. Now, in this religion, let's compare it to a tree. The tree has trunk, roots, branches, leaves, flowers, fruits. Okay? Now, the branches, flowers, fruits, etc., all that is one can compare it to devotees of that particular religion. Now, where do these devotees derive their sustenance? Where does the tree derive its sustenance from? Roots. What do the roots represent? Yes? Yes. What does the foundation rest on? Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prem. That is the foundation of all religions. See? Baba gives a very nice illustration on how this correlation exists. He says that suppose there are 2 hills. Between the 2 hills there is a very fast river flowing. On one hill is humanity. On the other hill is the mother, Sai Mata, Sai Mother. See, all the children are on the other hill. Now, the children have to cross over this river and go to Sai Mata. How are they going to do it? How would you do it? Yes?
I would go swim.
Swim? No, swimming is not allowed in that river of life. Too fast. You get drowned in it. Not allowed. How else would you go?
Get
Boats, steamers, not allowed.
a stick.
Stick?
Build a bridge.
Right. So, what does this mother do? She sends engineers to build bridges from one hill to another hill. So, who are the engineers? Buddha, Christ, Zoroaster, Muhammad, like that. Shankaracharya, all these people, they come and build various bridges. What are bridges built of? Tell me. Come on. You don't know what bridges are built of? Yes.
What?
Yes, wood, okay, but you know, in a fast river of life, wood won't stand up to it. Something better than that, yes.
Silver? Steel?
What?
Steel?
Come on. No, yes, correct. Cement is one. What else? What else? Steel. Sand. And water. No. Water. See, steel is there first. Then to support the steel, you have to put cement all around it. See? And the cement, if it's just pure cement, it won't stand up, it will get cracked. So sand has to be added to it for stability. See? And then, by itself, if it's dry, it won't hold the steel. You have to add water to it and mix it. See? And then it will stand up to it, isn't it? What does steel represent? Truth. Cement, dharma. Sand, peace. Water, love. Now see, steel, which is truth, very strong. It never yields. Truth is truth. It's very strong. It won't yield. Steel doesn't yield. It's very strong. See? But to support this steel to stand up, dharma is necessary in society. Right behavior, right conduct. See? That is very essential. So cement has to support this steel, which is there. Now cement by itself will crack up if it doesn't have the stability. So therefore, to provide that stability, sand has to be added to the cement. And this sand is peace. The peaceful attitude is to be there in dharma. Otherwise, dharma won't stand up, it will crack up. See? But to hold everything together, water is required. Without water, nothing will be there. That is love. See? So that love has to bind everything together. See? And that is the sum and substance, see, which holds the whole society, the whole bridge. Water holds that bridge. See? Now what happens, let's see. You have one engineer, he comes and builds a straight bridge with some pillars in a straight road. Another one comes, he builds a pontoon bridge. Third one comes, he builds a cantilever bridge. Fourth one comes, he builds a suspension bridge. Fifth one comes, he builds another variety of bridge. Now the thing is this, that even though all these bridges look different from outside, see, their shape, their form, everything is different, but they're all made of the same substance: steel, cement, sand and water. See? Steel, cement, sand and water, Satya Dharma Shanti Prem, are the foundation pillars of Sanatana Dharma. See? So Sanatana Dharma forms the foundation for all the bridges. There is no religion in the world which does not recognize Satya Dharma Shanti Prem. All religions contain Satya Dharma Shanti Prem. So that is the relationship which exists between Sanatana Dharma and all the religions. See? You understood? Now what is the relationship between Swami Satya Sai Baba and the prophets? What relationship is there? Anybody? Nobody. What about the teachers? You see, Baba has two aspects, the human aspect and the divine aspect. The human aspect is what we see. The divine aspect is kept hidden in Baba. When we look at Baba, he appears human, he behaves like a human being, he eats, drinks, talks, walks, plays with you, everything, see? Just like a human being. See? So that is the human aspect. But in this human aspect is contained the divinity which he shows you sometimes. So therefore we know that there is the human and the divine. Okay, we have established that. Now let's take the religions. Religion, the word religion is derived from religare or religio, which means, re means back and ligare means to bind. So to bind back, so the religion is that which binds you back to the source from which you have come. See? So what happens, when you are bound back to the source, you have an opportunity to go back to the source from where you have come. So you come from God and you are going back towards God. That is the function of religion, the word religare, religio. See? So now what is this religion connected with? It is only connected to divinity. See? Religion is not connected to anything else but divinity. So therefore, in Baba, we have the human and we have the divine. See? So all religions are connected to Baba. How? Only to the divine, not to the outer form. That is the secret. See? Whether it is Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, Christianity, whatever it is connected to the divinity within Baba. That divinity is permanent. See? Baba's form is temporary. That will pass away when he is 96 years old. See? So that is not what it is connected with. All religions are connected only with divinity. That you must remember. And therefore, all religions are connected to the divinity in Baba. Now, if that is the case, then why is it that a lot of people are unable to correlate their religion who do not belong to Hinduism, that they are not able to correlate their religion to Baba? Why? Because they do not know about the divinity of Baba. See, the day they come to recognize the divinity, the day they experience the divinity of Baba, then it's established that whatever they are following is connected to him. So this is the relationship which exists, see, between Baba and the religions. Now take the prophets. Take for instance Zarathustra. Now Zarathustra has a name and a form, and therefore when he established the Zoroastrian religion, it is called Zoroastrian because from Zarathustra. See? Or Buddhism from Buddha, or Christianity from Christ. See? So the names of the religions are connected to the founder members. See? But the essence of the religion is connected to Baba, the divinity inside Baba. Have you understood? What? Have you understood? Huh? So this is very important. You must understand this aspect of the divinity of Baba, and you must behave, act and do things in such a way that you experience this divinity. When you experience this divinity, you will be full of joy, and then you will know and understand everything about God. See? It is this experience which you must crave for and which you must pray to Baba, and he will give it to you. See? There is no age bar. See? You don't have to be 60 to gain these experiences. No. Even very small children can also gain experiences. Prahlada was only 5 years old. See? Isn't it? Dhruva, he was also very small. See? And they all gained experiences of divinity. See? As a matter of fact, you are better qualified to gain the experiences than all the elders. See? Because there is no contamination. See? So this is what you must crave for. But in the process you must talk less. Children have a habit of talking too much, unnecessarily. See? So that is what keeps you away. No? You talk less. Okay, now what else shall we talk about? Let me tell you some stories. Yes?
I have a question about Zoroastrianism. Is it anything like the Shinto religion?
No. Zoroastrianism is very closely related to Hinduism because they are the only two Aryan religions in existence. And see, I'll tell you what is Satya, what is truth. You know, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was a great saint, and he always used to pay attention to truth. What is truth? Truth is something which has to be there, not only in the present, but it should be continuous. That means your thoughts, first you get a thought, then you utter it, and then when the thought is uttered, you put it into practice. Isn't it? So there are three things involved here: thought, word, and deed. When all three must be the same, then only it is truth. If you are thinking one thing, you are saying something else, and you are doing something different, that's not truth. There's total disharmony between the three. See? So that's not truth. Now, I'll tell you a story of what is this truth. One day, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he was quite old, and he had very high temperature. That particular day, it so happened that he had to visit and fulfill a promise to a devotee which he had given many weeks ago, that he had said that I am going to come to your house on such and such a day. When that day arrived, unfortunately, he had very high temperature. And not only that, but he very much wanted to go and see that devotee because he had promised him. And he was waiting that somebody will come and take him there. All day he was waiting for somebody to come. It so happened that day nobody came. Not a single devotee turned up that day. 11 o'clock at night, one devotee came. As soon as he came there, Ramakrishna got up in a great hurry and said, come on, quick, call a carriage. This devotee didn't know anything what was happening. He had just come to pay his respects and go home, and in this process Ramakrishna was telling me, come on, quickly go and call a carriage. See? And they both got into the carriage and said, drive fast. It was a long ride, and he had to reach that devotee's house before 12 o'clock, because by 12 o'clock the day would be over. So finally, just a few minutes before 12, he reached the gates of that devotee's house. He got off in a hurry with the help of the devotee. Mind you, even though he had very high temperature, he put his foot through the gate and tapped it on the ground there and said, see, here, I have come to your house today. See, he tapped it. Then he went away. Next day, that devotee came to see him and said, Swami, you didn't come yesterday to my house. He said, well, you see, I had fever, this, that, etc., but I did come to your house. I came, I put my foot on your garden earth, and then I went back. So I have kept my word. See, from this you must learn the lesson that whenever you speak something, you must have value for your words. See, it's only when you have value for your own words that you will begin to value God's words. See, if you have no value for your words, you will disregard God's words also. You will have no value. See, so from this story we must learn this lesson, that always do what you speak, do not speak what you cannot do. That is the sentence which Baba has given as the message for the 60th birthday. Do what you say, do not speak what you cannot do. Simple. So remember that. That is truth. This is how you have to support truth in society. When you grow up, always remember this story, that whatever you say, you must always fulfill. Now we come to another story which exemplifies dharma. Dharma means that you must practice first what you are going to say. That is a part of dharma. See? Now again it's a Ramakrishna story. See? One day a mother brought a young child like that to Ramakrishna. And the mother said, Swami, this son of mine, this daughter of mine is eating too many sweets. What shall I do? I am not able to cure her of eating so many sweets. She wants sweet. First thing in the morning she gets up from the bed, wants sweet. For breakfast there must be sweets. Then for break in between lunch and lunch and breakfast, wants sweets. Lunch, lot of sweets. Tea time, few sweets. Dinner, lots of sweets. Bedtime, sweets. Now what can I do? This child is wanting too many sweets. So you please, if you tell him or her, the child, they will listen to you. So Ramakrishna patiently listened to all this and then said, Mother, you bring the child after 2 months. I will see that he is cured then. So the mother took the child away without asking any questions, and the child was brought back. So Ramakrishna took that child on his lap and spoke nicely to the child and impressed the child with various things about sweets and other things, see, and told him how not to eat sweets. The child listened, went home, both mother and child. A week later, the mother came back to report that yes, the child had improved. Instead of demanding sweets 6 times, now the child was having it only twice. Okay. But then the mother was lingering there, and Ramakrishna said, yes, mother, what is it? She said, I have a little doubt. What is it? He said, why did you send us away? You could have told the same thing 2 months ago. Why did you send us away at that time? So Ramakrishna turned round to the mother and said, see, I have a little secret to confide in you. You see, I myself was very fond of sweets, and I was eating them as well. So what could I do? If I am eating sweets, how can I tell the child not to eat sweets? So you see, I had first to stop eating sweets. And only after I had gained control over that, then I could tell the child. See? Now here you see, the moral of the story is this. It's a real story. That unless and until you are practicing what you are going to say, that won't have any effect if you don't practice it. So first practice, then preach. Don't preach without practice. No right. As Ramakrishna illustrated, he had no right to tell the child that don't eat sweets. After all, he could have told. The child would not have known whether Ramakrishna was eating sweets or not. But it is the moral support which is required for truth. See, without the moral support of truth, it doesn't work in life. See? This has to be there first. Huh? So that's the second story. We come to Shanti. Shanti in practice means equanimity. Equanimity means whether it is good or bad, you remain at the same level. See, that means practice of Shanti. I'll tell you Buddha's story. Buddha one day was going through various villages with his disciples. See? As he was going through, he used to beg from the homes food. And people used to give him the food and he used to go on his way. One day, in one particular village, there was a gentleman there who felt annoyed with Buddha that he was taking all these young people and turning them into beggars and not teaching them any particular way of proper learning and earning. See? So he stood there in front of Buddha and abused him, told him what a rotten person he was, this, that, etc. All kinds of things he told him. Buddha kept quiet. After this gentleman had finished telling him all the bad things, Buddha said to him that, tell me, if a parcel you are giving me, if I do not accept that parcel, where will that parcel go? So that man was a little perplexed, but he said, why, it will come back to me. So he said, same way, all that you have said to me, I do not accept. So it's all coming back to you. See? Now, this is an example of how we should behave. See? When some provocating situation is there, lot of provocation is there, then keep quiet. Mentally don't accept it. Then it goes back. There is also the story of Einstein. See? Einstein was a great scientist. See? All the time he was engaged in research. He never had time even to think of food. He never had time to think of anything. See? Now he had a wife. See? Now this wife was not very understanding. See? She was actually a stupid lady. See? Very stupid. See? She didn't know anything. See? So what she used to say, she used to get the food ready, and then she used to shout for him, come on, food is ready, come on, quick. See? That kind of thing. Yeah, Einstein used to be engrossed in his researches. Never paid any attention to all that. See? So she used to get angry, and then she used to come and shout, and a lot of shouting and banging and things would go on, you see. Finally, Einstein would get up and go and have his food. But this used to happen regularly, twice a day. One day, she got thoroughly fed up. And while Einstein was working out some particular equation, and he was highly engrossed, he didn't hear her at all. She was shouting at the top of her voice, but he didn't hear her. She got so fed up that she took a big jug of water, see, and took it and emptied on Einstein's head. See? You know what Einstein said? He said, every day it is lightning and thunder. Today it has rained. Now see how much equanimity that man had, that even though with so much provocation, see, he kept silent, he kept his equanimity and made a whole joke out of it. See? So this is how one has to observe in society, no matter how much you are provoked. See? You must observe this kind of equanimity. Now we come to love. I'll tell you some stories on love. Buddha, no, first we'll tell you about Swamis. See, you know Swami keeps deers in his Vrindavan place. See, where he has his house. There are a lot of cages there, big cages are there, where deers are running free in there. See? Deer, swans, various birds, things like that. See, there's a nice little zoo there. See. Now, Swami's routine is that he comes down in the morning, goes for darshan, then talks, and then retires at around 11, 11:30, 11:15. See, and he goes up. When he goes up, the doors of this Vrindavan house are shut. Once the doors are shut, everybody knows that now he is not going to come down anymore. See? But one day, what happened? There was a deer there. This deer had been standing opposite the door waiting for Swami. This deer was intently looking at Swami. See? And after the doors were closed, the deer began to cry. Cry means tears, not shout. Cry. Tears began to flow from this deer's eyes. See, even though the deer was just standing there, intently looking at the door, and the tears began to come, because the deer had an intense yearning for Swami, and the deer wanted that Swami should come to him. See? Within a short time, the door opened. Swami came out. He called the volunteers, opened the cage, asked for some apples, came to the deer, and he fed the deer. See? This is love, real love. See? God accepts love from all beings, not only men, animals also. Tell you another animal story. One day I was sitting in Prasanthi Nilayam in 1973, see, and on the veranda, and there was a group of people who had come from Assam for Swami's darshan. Swami was distributing vibhuti in those days to all the devotees who used to come and sit there. As he was passing by, I noticed that he walked by and then he came back and he tossed 2 packets to one lady. She was an Assamese nurse. And he tossed those 2 packets to this lady and said, "Ye billi ke liye, this is for the cat." That's what he said. And he walked on. Afterwards, I asked that lady, "What is this? Why has he given you 2 vibhuti packets for the cat?" So she said, "There is a long story." I said, "What is it? Tell me." So she said that at one time, some months ago, she was having guests for dinner. And she has a pet cat. While she was cooking fish for the guests, and she had cooked the fish and kept it ready, and this cat was sitting in the corner of the kitchen. The cat was eyeing the proceedings with great interest because it wanted the fish, and she was waiting for an opportunity to take one fish and scoot. So this lady, having kept the fish there, went to fetch the rolling pin for making chapatis. As she went out of the room, the cat grabbed a fish and ran. See? Now this lady saw this, and of course she had the rolling pin in her hand. She also followed the cat and started beating it. See? Because she had taken the fish off the plate. See? Now, as she was beating the cat, at that time, her sister and all the other inmates in the house, they all rushed out. What happened? What happened? "Oh, earthquake is taking place." "What earthquake?" He said, "All the pictures of Swami are shaking and falling down." See, all the pictures of Swami in the house began to shake, and some of them fell down and broke while the cat was being beaten. Then she realized that it is something wrong which she has done. She has been beating a devotee of Baba. The cat was a devotee. See, and she was beating the cat, and the Baba was not liking it at all. See. So she went to the cat and began to stroke it and pamper it. What did she discover? On the cat, the fur was soaked with the wet stuff, amrit, and lot of vibhuti. See? Baba had showered vibhuti on the cat to protect it against the beating. See? So that the cat wouldn't feel the beating. That is love. See? Another story I'll tell you. Buddha was being worshipped one day with lots of lights. Light of enlightenment, illumination, wisdom. See? And lot of rich devotees had come that day to where Buddha was sitting, and each one had presented a lamp. There were hundreds and hundreds of lamps there. But one poor old lady had made a small little lamp, totally unprotected, an open lamp. See? All the other lamps were big, silver, gold, glass, everything. See? But this little lamp she presented there at Buddha's feet. That night, a raging storm blew. In the morning, everybody discovered that all the lamps had gone off, except one. and that was that little lamp. That lamp had survived the storm. It had not gone off. See? So people asked, the other devotees asked, what is so special about this little lamp that it didn't go off when all the other lamps have gone off? Buddha replied, he said, the light was given by a woman with a pure heart and whose love was great. Therefore, nobody can put it out. Her gift was poor, but her heart was filled with devotion. Therefore, her gift of a single burning light was mightier than a strong wind's commotion. See? So this is what love does. See, this is another example. Now what is the meaning of love in everyday life? You know, we have this Deepavali festival that in India, where at the time of Deepavali we light little lamps, see, and keep it on the veranda. So that Swamiji has given this significance. He says hundreds of lamps can be lit from one flame. See? And the flame of love in man is also like that. See, if you share your love will not diminish. There is a flame here. Now if I light another flame with it, that flame will not diminish. That flame will still be the same. So same is with love. See, when you share your love, it doesn't diminish. It spreads. See? And it brightens everything when the flame is shared. See? So, see, love like light cannot be withheld. You cannot withhold this light. The light is falling on everybody here. See? Now I can't withhold it from one or two or three people. It just falls equally. See? So love like light cannot be withheld. It spreads and it has no boundaries. So similarly, love also has no boundaries. It will envelop everybody. The more you love, the greater the boundary. You may not like your neighbor. You know, you may not be having good relations with your neighbor. But the light from your veranda, which you have lit there, will shine hand in hand with the light from his veranda. See? It's like that, love. See? So, that is Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prem. Have you understood everything? Any questions now? Come on. I think you people have eaten too much, so you're feeling sleepy. You're very sleepy, having eaten too much. These Balvika sessions in the afternoon shouldn't be kept in future. They should either be in the morning or late evening. But at least the teachers have taken down the stories. So that's good. So anything else? Any questions, anything you'd like to know?
More stories than Mama.
Oh. Later in the evening we'll see.
Can you do a magic trick?
I used to, yes. But not now. I've given up doing that magic. I do different type of magic now. Magic which changes, transforms. That is the magic I'm interested in now.
Do any of you have any doubts and questions at school and with your friends? And you want to talk about Baba? This is a good time to get asked questions that really bother you during the years.
Well, I have a question. How do you judge how much you should tell someone who doesn't know about Swami? Like, you know, if a friend comes over to my house and he asks a question, like, should I say, you know, he's God come down as earth? Should I say he's a great saint? You know, what should I say? Because I tell them that he's a great saint because I feel that they don't have the capacity to understand that he's God come down in human form. And if I tell them that, it might overwhelm them, and then
They run away. You lose your friendship. Yes, quite right. You must discriminate what you tell people. See? You must tell them according to the capacity of what they are able to receive. See, you know, if you take a small vessel and you go to the sea, you dip it, you can only take away that much water. Somebody with a bigger vessel, he'll go to the sea, he can only take away that much water. So each person has a vessel of capacity. So only fill that much. Don't overfill the vessel. Otherwise it's no good. See, it's like that. So you must tell the people according to what they will understand. See? What's the use of telling somebody that he is God? Why? We don't know what God is. Do you know what God is? No. Does anybody know what God is? No. How can we say Baba is God? Isn't it? Huh? So you must also understand that when we say Baba is God, we don't really know what God is. See? We are only saying it. Why? Because everybody else has been saying it. That's why we also say it. See? Because we have no experience what God is. We have experience, yes, of divinity in Baba. See? And then Baba tells us that that is God. Yes, okay, we believe him, we accept that. But until you become one with God, you cannot know what God is. See? So that is the aspect. See, that is what we have been talking about this morning. Constant integrated awareness, which we have to develop, and then we can experience, and then we can know. But until such time, you hold your horses.
I'm 16 years old, and I was just wondering what people at my age level should be learning in Bhavikas. I mean, what should we be learning every week?
Age has nothing to do with the learning of wisdom. Wisdom can be learnt at 6 and at 60. No bars. See? So, you can start learning anything from the beginning. No problem. If you haven't learned anything in Bal-Vikas earlier, you should attend the earlier class with the tiny tots and catch up.
If you're younger, should you go up to older groups? That if you've already learned all the shlokas and you're doing the same thing over and over again, should you go up to a higher advanced group?
Yes, when your group moves into the higher one, you move with that.
But if you have the capacity, if you're the bigger vessel, to know more about, I mean, if you can recite all the slokas, I mean, you know the meaning and everything.
See, reciting the slokas and knowing the meaning doesn't mean anything.
Right, but suppose that's the curriculum.
See, no, the curriculum doesn't mean anything. You must ask the question, what is the purpose of the curriculum? The purpose of the curriculum is to produce a transformation in you. Has the transformation been achieved? That is the question you should ask. Has it been achieved? Then you stay in the same class. You see, the purpose of Bal-Vikas is to bring about the transformation in the children so that they will take to the Godward path. See? And this transformation must take place. So, merely knowing the meaning of the slokas and reciting them by heart, frontwards and backwards has no meaning.
So
it is the practice of it, and it is the transformation. When you are talking, are your thoughts, words and deeds fully synchronized? Or are you saying something and then doing something else? Or you are promising somebody that I'll come and see you at that time, and then you go and see the movies and leave that fellow high and dry? This is what Bal-Vikas is for. See? To bring about the change of the practice of the values, of the 4 fundamental principles, and all the values which come from it. See? Understand?
So the teacher should be explaining to you how to apply it?
Yes, yes. The teacher should explain. That is the duty of the teacher. See? To explain, and the duty of the student to understand, not to argue. Ask questions, but not criticize. See? Yes?
I want your opinion on this. Do you think that the 10th avatar of Vishnu is going to be Prema Saivam?
You see, all these avatars, they are only written about in various books by various authors. See, ultimately it has no meaning. Why? Because God is not consisting of these 10 avatars. God is one. That God is omnipresent, and that God is you. Understood? No. I'll tell you one thing. See, tell me, what is it that God cannot do? He can do everything. People say he can do everything. There is one thing which he cannot do. This is a riddle which was produced, which was invented by my 2 daughters. See, when they were the age group of 10 years old, and they wrote this riddle in the Bal Vikas magazine, and next month the answer was given by them. See, what is it that God cannot do? Tell me, come on. Come on, have a go.
Stop loving. He cannot do that, he has to.
No, he can stop loving if he wants to, but that is not something which he cannot do. See? Yes?
Banish you from his kingdom?
What?
Banish you from his kingdom.
See, is there some other kingdom where he is not present?
Because everything is his, so he can't.
No, that is not. See, what? You are nearly there. You are very hot, but not quite. It's quite hot. Come on. Yes, you?
Force you to love him?
No.
Force you to do it?
No, he doesn't, I mean, he can do it if he wants to. What is that? There is nothing, no bars there. See, God can do anything. Only one thing he cannot do. Come on, use your brains. Come along. Yes.
He can't be a regular human being.
Oh, but he is a regular human being.
He can be everywhere, and he can't be like us.
Yes. He can. He is.
But in their mind, they know their God. They can do anything they want.
Yes.
He cannot be limited.
Hey, if he wants to, he can be. He can fool you. But there is one thing which he won't do, and that is, he cannot leave you. Why?
He's inside you.
No, that also he can leave you. But why? Because he is omnipresent. He is present everywhere. There is no place where he is not. See, every cell of your body, every molecule, every atom, he is present. See, that is the meaning of the word omnipresent. Therefore, he cannot stop being omnipresent. See? So, he is there everywhere. Now, from this naturally, the question follows that if God is omnipresent and is everywhere, there is no place where he is not, then where is the place for you?
In God?
Yes, in God, but not separate from him. You are not separate from God. You are God. Now have you understood? Correct. Yes. Right. So, you mustn't, see, I'll tell you one thing. This is not a performance show. No? So what you must do before you leave? Samsisaya arpanam.